guys, Girl Karina here, and happy Holy Easter Friday! Today's another bright and sunny day. Thanks be to God. And literally, I hope your week has been very, 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 very fruitful. As I said in my intro and my music cover, which I highly suggest you go check out. I really hope, it's really important that we take this time to be very fruitful for Christ. Even though things may be a little different, each day is a blessing. Each day is a day for us to take on that challenge, to go deeper with Christ, and to really be out there for Christ as a true warrior, regardless of what storm is surrounding us and what storm is attacking us from the enemy. Because, the enemy is always there waiting for the perfect opportunity to just sneak into your life and to push you off track for Christ. So with that said, I hope you've been well. I pray that you are doing well, and I pray that everything that you're praying for comes true according to God's time and plan, and I pray that your family is doing well as well. And really, again, thank you so much for being here, spending time with me for Christ and for God. It's all for him. It's all for him. It's all for him. The fact that he led me to begin the Close Encounters with Christ video series has really enabled me to step out of that boat and to walk on water towards Christ. Just looking forward. Therefore, in correlation to your life, to always step out of that boat and just be like St. Peter, walking on water towards Christ, just looking forward. And not having that sense of doubt that you're going to fall right in the water, and we should really use that as a challenge to really strengthen our faith and to never have that sense of doubt, in which the enemy will always use as a seed for us to leave that pathway towards Christ. So with that said, I will reveal the topic for today in just a short minute, unless you've already looked at the topic below, but it's okay. It's a dead giveaway. But either way, again, thank you for being here, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is right here, and it really means so much to me from the bottom of my heart. And with that said, let's get started. Today I want to talk to you guys about having a humble opinion of oneself. Probably like, whoa, okay, what's this person going to talk about today? The reason why I chose that topic for today is because also, as I was doing my readings today, it really stuck out to me that when it comes to having that opinion of yourself, especially when you're very involved in the ministry, like music ministry, and adult ministry, youth ministry, whatever ministry that may be, ego tends to be sitting at a corner and just waiting for that perfect opportunity to arise and to morph into that sense of pride coming in. So that's why it's really important that we take into heart in our everyday lives that when we're really doing our task for Christ, and our duty for Christ, we should not expect praises from others. We should not expect people to be like, oh wow, you're doing such a great job. Oh wow, you're so good. It's just again, as I said before, just transfer it all up to God. Be like, it's just God using me as an instrument to proclaim his word. That's it. You were touched by the power hand of God through me, but it's all him. And that's what I love to really put out there, very much so, because when it comes to, especially in the music ministry, in which I'm highly involved in, I really tend to show by example that we should ultimately just humble ourselves in the eyes of Christ. When we have our glorious moments, it's all because of him. When we have our moments of struggle here and there, especially with vocalists, it tends to be a little bit of a hit or miss, because sometimes when you're so into it and then your voice just automatically cracks by an accident. I always like to personally, I was told this as by a sister in Christ, that when her voice cracks too, at times when she just sings her heart out for Christ, that's the Holy Spirit reminding you to stay humble. Not that I'm saying for you to make mistakes all the time for those who are watching that are vocalists. No, I'm not suggesting to crack your voice all the time. It's just when it happens, it happens. And just let it flow. Like, we're not perfect, and we're just doing our duty for Christ, really. And especially when you're singing for Christ, that too, just treat it as a prayer, and that's it. If you had an amazing like performance, great. God permitted that to happen for you. I'm not saying to have a bad performance, okay? Just don't think it that way. But like, my point is that regardless of how well you did, is all through the power hand of Christ and the power hand of God. Really, it's all you have to do is just allow yourself to be with Christ in that specific moment. That's why for me, like, I remember in a few of my other like previous concerts, like they were fundraising concerts, and I remember the last one in December for the winter concert at my parish, like, I spent like a solid hour before the concert, just like, doing the divine office first, and then also just spending that quiet time with our Blessed Mother Mary and Jesus Christ and God, to really just allow, just telling God, okay, you've given this challenge for me to take right now, and I just want you to just use me to proclaim your word. Just allow me to be in that moment with you so that I'll be able to speak what you want me to speak and sing what you want me to sing. And literally, I pray that I'll be able to touch at least one person's heart. At least one. I'm not expecting everyone to be like, oh yay! No, I don't expect. I just one. Just one. As long as I touch one person's heart closer to Christ, that's all that I really want you to do for me, through me, in that specific moment. And really, like, we can't expect. And all you do is just do it, perform your best, and that's it. If you touch one heart, great. But if you don't know, that's fine. Like, honestly, you did your part at that exact moment, right? And even with young adult ministry, same thing too. Like, when you're really constantly being very proactive in your community and your parish, and in reaching out to new people that you don't know yet, like, really, that's the best way to be able to create that community of Christ and that community of warriors for Christ, so that you all will be able to unite as one and to be stronger together, really. So to add on, really, like, when it comes to really becoming a true warrior for Christ and really being persistent in being a warrior for Christ, like, we cannot pursue the worldly things. You cannot be having, again, that foot for Christ and then that foot for the world and expecting praises from people. So that's why, we have to be able to detach from the worldly pursuits very much. Otherwise, our eternal salvation is not going to happen for us, And again, the more we know, the more we will be judged by God. Because again, like, when God really allows you to know more and more and more, you have that opportunity to really exercise that in your life, and without fail. So that's why, like, for me, I always like to keep on doing my readings more and more, especially nowadays, now that I have a little more time in my hands. And with that in mind, it really allows me to really put the word out there as well too, and also apply that to myself too. Like, whatever I'm saying is like, it's being punched in my face, like, as well too, because the fact that I'm even telling it out there, God knows that, like, you can't be a hypocrite. So that's why when you decide to do talks like this, really be sincere and with that full integrity, because God can see the intentions of your heart. If you're singing for Christ, or if you're playing an instrument for Christ, because I'm actually seeing, like, some people doing covers with an instrument. Like, there's this one girl that's actually a violinist as well, and she's, like, actually doing music covers for Christ, and, like, God bless her heart. And really, like, I'm proud of her too. And so that's why, like, when we really take on that challenge to put ourselves out there for Christ, we have to be very sincere from here before we even begin that journey at all. Otherwise, God would be like, you're being a hypocrite. and the more we'll be severely judged. So that's why it's very unwise to really act upon a series like this or music covers if it's not even for Christ. Very unwise, very unwise. And so even for me, before I started on this, I didn't just, pop on the camera right away and start. I really discerned on it, had that spent quiet time to really think, hey, is this for the glory of myself or is it for God? If it's for the glory of myself, you wouldn't be even watching this right now. Because really, at the end of the day, my objective of my whole channel now is to legitimately put Christ out there. And whatever gift you have, I don't know who's watching this, really enable yourself to just be different from everybody else, and to set that example for others to do the same. Really. Because it's really reflecting Christ from here to be able to radiate naturally on our exterior selves. So with that in mind, we cannot be afraid to acknowledge our own ignorance. We cannot. And the true knowledge is really what makes us aware of our worthlessness, and to not ever take pleasure in the praises of others. And it's tough to really take it in at first, but after a while, when you pray about it and when you really allow yourself to just follow the way of Christ, it will really enable yourself to be very humble in the eyes of Christ, and to not let the sense of ego and pride start lurking in, because for a fact that when you're doing a ministry for Christ, you are honestly telling yourself that pride's not going to get in the way. Your ego is not going to rise to the surface, and your insecurities are not going to hold you back. But only boldness, confidence, and that full warrior weaponry and armory will be on you to persevere to whatever is going to come your way. So with that said, really, we have to be confident in God. We have to be confident in God. We can't allow the enemy to just be always lurking in the corner, waiting for the perfect opportunity to have that sense of doubt in God that nothing's happening, no results are coming. But really, just wipe that off. I just want to add that when you see a brother and sister, commit a grievous sin, don't ever think or feel that you're better than them. Because really, if you were in their shoes, you wouldn't know how you would really take on that temptation. And with that in mind, all we can do as our Catholic Christian duty is to just enlighten their heart. Shed a light on the truth, and to just plant that seed in their heart about whatever they're going through. That's the least we can do. We have to be there to really hear them out, really to just hear what struggles they're enduring and what they're facing and what challenges they're going through, and just being there is all that really matters. And that's why every opportunity I have to be there for someone, I always take on that challenge, even though it goes outside of my comfort zone at times. Maybe staying late at night, just really hearing them out, and to really just be there for them, And so whenever you come across the opportunity that someone's reaching out to you, in no matter what circumstance, just be there for them. Try to be for them. I know we're all busy one way or another, but God can see that you're trying, and that's all that matters to Christ, really. And you really have to keep in mind that we're all frail. We're all very frail. So honestly, that's why we constantly need to seek the power hand of God each day in our lives with no fail, and that we'll be able to succeed over temptation. We'll be able to succeed over the enemy, no matter how hard the enemy will even try. Because when you try harder for Christ, the enemy will try even harder to take you off track. That's how it is. The closer you become to Christ, the more the enemy is going to keep on attacking you more. So really, I want to put it out there that, regardless of how great you are in whatever ministry you're in, again, the enemy will constantly always be waiting and lurking and finding that perfect opportunity, as I said, to really get you off track. That's why we have to be alert. We have to be attentive. We have to be constantly aware of those near occasions of sin constantly each day in our lives, you know. Even though if we're just at home, still, the enemy will just lurk into your mind. So, on that side, we always have to keep on praying for that intercession and for that guidance and for that strength to constantly be bold in everything that we do for Christ, especially when you're being a warrior for Christ. So we have to do our duty. We have to be fully aware and conditioning our minds to be able to handle all the challenges that are ahead of us. So really just keep on praying about whatever you're praying for. I know it's tough during these days. I can understand, but I don't know what you're going through. But really, it's the least thing each of us can do to just encourage each other to not fail during this time and to really allow ourselves to become closer to Christ during this time of quarantine. I know it's tough, especially for extroverted people that really miss being with friends and family, and especially me. Like, I really feel that part of me that's just kind of blank, because I really miss like being with people, you know, and I really miss like being with people and in general. That's just how I am. Like, that's how I thrive and get my energy from. Like, even though I could be exhausted from a long day at work, like the moment I see people that I know, especially, it will literally like jack up my energy, like just like that. But that's just me. I don't know about you, whoever's watching this, you could be introverted, I don't know. But really, again, I want to point out that whatever you're praying for, if it's vocation, someone, or whatever that may be, really just don't give up. Just keep on persevering. You got this. You got this. No matter how long the wait's going to be, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to the very end. And I'm guaranteed sure that God will really show you the answer in due time. We just have to exercise that virtue of patience. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video very much so, and I pray that you will be well always. And before I let you go, I truly want to always say this in all my videos. Don't be afraid to be true warriors for Christ.